Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. You have the Rhino. We have a beer. Today's beer is from the Amsterdam Brewing Company. It is Amsterdam's Cruiser All-Day Pale Ale. So this is another one of those session pale ales. It's 4.9% alcohol by volume. The label basically looks like the Bone Shaker label. Bone Shaker label is a skeleton on a Bone Shaker bike going sideways, like it's the side profile. This is just the front profile of a skeleton on a Bone Shaker bike. Even the cap is too. The cap's awesome because the cap's better than the rest of the bottle. Okay, add it to my cap bucket. I guess I can add that to my cap bucket too. Oh, I missed the cap bucket. A little bit of water left in this glass since I rinsed it out, so using the Dogfish Head the Sierra Nevada IPA glass, the unbranded ones. Because I'm not about proper fucking glassware. Okay, there we go. So we've got Cruiser, a little bit of carbonation moving up from the whirlwind that's created at the bottom of this glass. Nice, like golden, what is this, golden color. Beautiful bright white head, it looks pretty. Smell? Ooh. Cedar, pine, grapefruit, pineapple, orange. And a little bit of almost like rosemary in there. Smells divine. It actually kind of reminds me of Bone Shaker again. Reminds me of like Bone Shaker Light. Let's try it. Cheers. Now, this is one of the few reviews I didn't go into completely blind. I did buy a 6-pack of this, and I drank 5 of them on Beer Dweebs United exactly a week ago, because I drank them on last Wednesday's Beer Dweebs United. And that's the one thing I said, was it reminded me of Bone Shaker Light. Now, all 6 bottles I had reminded me of Bone Shaker Light. It was very fruity, very beautiful, not too bitter. I don't know when these were bottled, because I don't see a born on date on here. And yeah, no, I don't see a born on date on here. And the reason that matters is I was going to say I don't know how fresh it was when I bought it, but it was a beautiful beer at the time, and this bottle just isn't as beautiful. It's not as fruity. It's not as flavorful as the other 5 I had. You do get a little of the, well, I'm getting a little of the orange, a little of the grapefruit, and then I get like piff. I get that oily, resiny piff on the back of my palate, mixed with some pininess and some cedariness, and it just becomes piffy bitterness on the background. Would I have said this was a great all-day IPA before? Yeah, I would. Well, it was a great all-day pale ale when I had it last week. I don't know if last week it was at its peak of perfection, or if my palate has changed so much in a week that I just don't appreciate this anymore. But last week I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Untapped, so it would have been an 8 out of 10, and I would stand behind that and say buy it all the time. So if you can find this fresher, I'm sure they'll make it more than once. If you can find this fresh, or you can get it on tap or on keg, or well, sorry, on tap or in a can or something, so it has a little more longevity, give it a try. It's most likely going to be great. The way it is right now, I would take this back down to a 7. I wouldn't leave it as an 8 just because it's just too piffy on the background. It doesn't make it a bad beer. It's actually still very easy to drink, very low ABV, very drinkable. It's just now that the fruity flavors aren't there to highlight everything and to hide the background bitterness, it's just not fully for me. Kind of like Sierra Nevada's Torpedo IPA. I talked about how Torpedo IPA was just bitterness on the background and nothing else, and everybody got up in arms on me on that. Oh my god, you haven't had this fresh. And you're right, I haven't had it fresh. This one I have had fresh, and now that I'm having it even a week later, it's just not the same beer. It's not the same beer that I drank 5 of. And it's not like I was drunk when I drank them. I started with them, and I drank all 5 of them in a row, and I wouldn't have been able to with this this build-up on the back of my palate. Again, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because it's still a good beer. It's just not what it was. Cruiser, when I had it last week, was, oh my god, I love this. Luckily, you can chug it down very easily. Thank you guys for watching. An 8 out of 10 when I had it a little fresher. 7 out of 10 now. Still a good beer, still a beer I suggest you trying. Bye.